Hello again, everyone. So, as you can see, I am seated on my chair. Now, when you are sitting and preparing to do your pelvic floor exercises, you will need to have a chair that you can comfortably put your feet on the floor with. So, I've just got like a hard back chair here that I can sit down on. My seat bones, so the bones that are in your bum, your pelvis are sat on the chair. My knees are bent and I have my flat feet on the floor. Okay, so I'm going to take the ball, place it between the knees. I'm going to go back a little so you can see me. So placing between the knees, and now we're going to focus on our breathing. We're going to focus on squeezing of the ball. First off, we're going to focus on breathing. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the nose. So hopefully you feel immediately a little bit calmer. And this is the breath work, just doing its work. It is a really calming, calms the nervous system. Breath is everything if you're trying to relax and be a bit more mindful about what we're doing. And we definitely use that in this session, in this exercise. So we're taking a breath in again. Now exhaling, you're going to squeeze that ball. And I want you to go right to the end of the breath. Now, what you'll feel, hopefully, is tension coming into the core as you exhale. So as you exhale, you're squeezing, 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 and you're tightening up through the abdomen. Now, when you breathe in, the diaphragm will relax, and when you exhale, it tightens, 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 tightens. And the diaphragm lifts up the pelvic floor with it. So if you were to see this in a moving diagram, you would see the diaphragm here, pelvis here. As you exhale, has a slight lift. So when you're doing that, you're preparing yourself to be a bit stronger within that pelvic floor and prepare for tension, prepare for jumping, sneezing, etc. So now what I want you to focus on are the pelvic floor muscles themselves. Now, think of the pelvis as a bowl, and you've got layers and layers and layers of pelvic floor muscles that are all attached with tendons and ligaments. And when you exhale, the pelvis is going to lift, as I've said. Now, what I want you to really focus on now is the exhale and the squeeze of the pelvic floor muscles, okay? So without squeezing the ball yet, just focus on those. So breathing in and breathing out. Now go right to the end of the breath, end of the breath, end of the breath, end of the breath, squeezing and lifting those pelvic floor muscles, and then release them completely. So we're focused on the tension at the moment. In a moment, I'm going to talk about the let go. So let's do that again together. Breathe in through the nose and exhale. Go, try and exhale through the nose if you can. I'm always tempted to go through the mouth. Exhale all the way. Start to squeeze the ball and start to lift the pelvic floor muscles. And then release completely and breathe. We'll try that one again. Breathing in and breathing out. All the way to the end, squeezing the ball, squeezing and lifting the pelvic floor, and then releasing. So let's talk about releasing of the pelvic floor. Now, the same as we wouldn't want to walk around with constant tension in any muscle. We don't want to walk around with constant tension in the abdomen or in the pelvis. Now, it's quite normal for women actually to walk around like this, and probably some men as well, where you want to appear a little bit thinner in the stomach. And especially as we start to age, that tummy is going to get bigger, and that's part of it. And it's part accepting that as part of it as well, although we want to do work too. So when you are constantly walking around with that tension, it never switches off, and in fact can put real strain on the pelvis and on the core. So let's have a think about seeing if we can really switch off the pelvic floor and the core by completely relaxing. So just sitting, focus on your breathing. And then completely let go of the pelvic floor. Can you do that? It's definitely worth a practice. Let's do it again. That's it, and focus on really letting go. Now, timings. When you're speaking of muscles and you're speaking of pelvic floor muscles, you have fast twitch and slow twitch muscle fibers. The slow twitch muscle fibers are going to be more focused on endurance. And when you're walking along, you might need the loo and you're trying to hold on, or you're in the car, that will be your endurance. When you're jumping, coughing, anything like that, and you're trying to do this, there are your fast twitch muscles. So think sprinting, fast moving work. So I'm going to show you a couple of exercises here that you can use for slow twitch muscle endurance. Let's go. Breathe in and breathe out. Squeezing the ball, lifting the pelvis, pelvic floor, pelvic floor, pelvic floor muscles up, up, up. Hold on and release. And one more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Squeezing, 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 squeezing. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And release. Now let's target the fast twitch muscle fibers. So we take a breath in here and can you see the difference? So the squeeze quickly, breathing out with the squeeze, and as I'm squeezing, I'm lifting, lifting, lifting. I don't really know any other way of showing you other than to go lift, lift, lift. So breathe in and breathing out through the mouth this time. And release. So try doing these exercises. You can either just come back to this video, or you can do 3 times slow breaths and do it through the day. And then 6 times quick breaths and then do it through the day. Try and put some sort of routine in the day for this. So you could get the app, the Squeezy app, which is always useful. Or you could have something in your car. So when you're at the traffic light, something would, you could just look at something in your car and say, all right, it's time for pelvic floor exercises. The best way is to really do this in movement. So as I've talked about with the getting up, let me move this chair back for you. So we would begin by breathing in and then exhaling and lifting. Breathing in, exhaling and lifting. Now, this is called, if you were to see a women's health physio, they call this the knack. So this is literally a little bit of tension in the pelvic floor before you stand up. Because did you know that lots of women struggle with even this and not leaking? We don't want to be like this when we're older. We've really got to get a handle on this now, whilst we still can, whilst we're really able to strengthen these muscles. Now, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Okay, so the same applies for these squats that I've talked about. Breathing in and breathing out, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, everybody, so if you've got any other questions about these exercises, please do post in the group. This is a video just for you. So, you feel free to ask anything that you like. This is a video for Empower. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon.